Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel here. So today's video is going to focus on a product that was sent to me by the folks over at Armour Detail Supply, and that is their Decon soap version 2. I'm actually reshooting this intro because I didn't like the first one because I kind of rambled on too much here as I was rewatching it. So I'm just going to make this intro here again, and we're going to talk about this. So in the follow-up video, you're going to see primarily V2 doing work for Decon soap, and I'm going to provide feedback on clean by pan the tire dressing here. So we're going to take a look at this, and then I reapply it. So there's a video on reapplying it as well. And then I also washed the Equinox after I rinsed off Decon soap V2 with Shampoo Plus, but you're not going to see the wash process with the Shampoo Plus because I wanted to primarily focus on the Decon soap version 2. I'm primarily using it as a snow foam, like a pre-foam, to see how clean it gets the paint. And yes, the Equinox was dirty when I used it, so you'll see that in the video coming up. So kind of stay tuned for that, and you know, hopefully you guys enjoy this video here. The other thing about the people are probably gonna ask is, what's the difference between V1 and V2? Well, V2 is basically a brand new soap from the ground up, new surfactants. It's basically a whole new soap. I'll let DJ chime in on this down below if you want the details, but it's basically a brand new soap. They worked really hard for this one here to reformulate it, and I think they did a great job. V1 was good. I thought V1 was good. V2 is better, and you know, V1 at times you had to use more soap to get it to foam really well, you know, get that thick foam. This one foams pretty well, and what you're gonna see in the video, I actually used it on the Griot's foam can, and I actually used it with the purple metering tip. So I just screwed this into the I took this cap off, and then I screwed the bottle onto the Griot's foam can. So you're gonna see that. We're gonna see I think I'm becoming a fan of the metering tip from the Griot's, because I can just pop a bottle in there, or I can actually fill the container with soap, and then I can just use that. I didn't really use that much. I think when I started off, I think I had it like right here where that green line is at. So stay tuned, enjoy that. Let me know what you guys think, and then the rest of the video is just going to kind of flow into updates on the tire dressing, using this, and kind of seeing the results of this, and then final thoughts. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the video, and again, post your comments down below. Hi everyone, welcome back here. So we're gonna take a look at Pan's tire dressing here. Again, it's been about 3 weeks. You can see it around, so again, the claim for durability for Pan's tire dressing is up to 1 month, and the key word is up to. So if you get anywhere within 1 to 4 weeks, it's met the claim. And as you can see, just looking here, because this is still in the sun, the dressing is kind of to the point where it's almost gone on here. You can see there's a little bit of dirt on my finger. Again, still looked a bit splotchy in the ribs here, but that's pretty normal for solvent-based tire dressings here as they kind of build up in here. So it's probably, if I were to do it again and reapply another layer, I would probably work this section a little bit more to kind of just even it out and make sure it gets in there. But overall, it looks pretty good. So let's take a look at the repelling properties. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with some. I'm going to do this first. I have some ADS V2 in this pump sprayer because I was testing it out. Now I'm just going to foam this as my pre-rinse, and we'll see how it does. On here, as it'll help remove some of that dirt. So I have the camera in my hand today, so I think it gets a better view. Just spray some in there. I think I'll have enough just for a couple wheels, but you can see that V2 over here is starting to do a little browning action on here, so it's going to help remove some of that dirt that's on there. We'll just let it sit in here for just a few seconds, but overall the look of the dressing is really good. I think when you first apply it, it looks really glossy, and after about the next day when you come out, it's going to look more of a satin type look. Performance, again, you're gonna get, I'm getting, again, three weeks. To me, it looks like it's ready to be reapplied, so I'm right in that up to, you know, a month time frame, and I'm good with the performance of it. And you can see V2 is doing pretty good. I forget how much I have in this pump spray. I didn't put a lot. You can see it's kind of just dragging some of that dirt and grime out of there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and blast this. now I actually did use the Pan's spray sealant on this wheel right here as a spray and rinse, and after the spray and rinse, after I finished washing the car, I ended up using it as a drying aid, so I got a double dose of it. And you can see it's still beating on the tire. So you can see it's still on the tire. So again, it's doing pretty well at this point. And just for kicks, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of all clean on here. Let me shake this up, open up the trigger a bit, and we'll just spray it on here. And we'll see, we'll spray like this on his spray sealant also and see if it degrades it on there. And then in my bucket, I just have some soap and water in here. I have some like 1.5 ounces of Fine Lap Pure Wash. So use this and go in here. And I'm only using this for added lubrication. I stuck it back in there because I'm working with one hand, but I would just go ahead and scrub the fender well with the same brush. Normally I blow it off on there. So under the mitt, I'll tell you, Pan's ceramic spray sealant feels pretty good. Now this has a wheel clean coating that's to the point where these wheels need to be recoated. I forget what I have on here. I think it was Armour. Now as far as like what I would use to wash my tires, I would actually take this type of bristle brush on here and I would just do this. You don't need to use something overly aggressive, and what I mean by that is any tire brush that feels really aggressive, because this is all you're going to need. This is normally how I wash wheels and tires. So for example, the Detail Factory brush, the bristles are a little stiffer with this, and so I don't want to strip the entire dressing off. You can see it's still repelling. Still doing pretty well. And with this failing coating on here, nothing has been really sticking on the paint that well. But Pan's ceramic spray sealant did pretty decent on here. My hand's all wet because I was actually going to try something. I'm actually going to try some quick beads on here and see how this does. Like I said, I've been just using spray and rinse products temporarily until I actually recoat these wheels. We'll let that set up for just a bit longer. And we'll check out quick beads. This is like the second time I've used quick beads. I've never actually used it before this. I used it last time when I did Pan's spray sealing here about a month ago. And then on the back has quick beads on it. Okay, and then real simple, we're using just spray this off. And you can see I've restored hydrophobics to the wheel on here to make it easier to clean the next time. Again, I'm using ADS V2 on here, and then I'm using Fine Lap Pure Wash, which is pretty strong also on here. So again, Pan's took a hit, but lately any of the spray sealants I've been using over on this degraded wheel coating, nothing's really bonded to it that well. And so again, I'm eventually going to get to polishing these wheels and recoating them pretty soon. And we'll talk about which coating I'm going to use when that time comes and why I'm using that coating. So I'll be right back with the foaming of the paint here, and we'll go through the pre-foam process. Be right back. Alright, and welcome back here. So we're going to go ahead and foam this. And if you guys don't say the car's not dirty enough, I think this is pretty darn dirty. Again, I've been washing a couple weeks. We got a bunch of stuff, bunch of morning dew. Let's see, we got bird droppings on there. So I have ADS Decon Soap V2, where it's right here, hooked up to the Griot's thing with the purple metering tip. So let's check it out. That's pretty darn good foam off the metering tip. First time using the metering tip. I was gonna switch back to the head mount. Don't worry, the gardener's here. He just happened to show up at the right time. Like, we're always filming videos, right, content creators? But I thought the bottle was gonna fall off here, but apparently it didn't. Yeah, really good foam out of this. So we're gonna let that kind of just dwell on here. You can see it's already working here. So this does have a dual surfactant in there. You can see actually the second one underneath that. So it's working to pull the grime down. Again, I have the gardener decided to show up, and you can see some more here with the surfactant kind of just doing its thing. So let me just get this side because I didn't get this front piece here while we're talking. Yep, but I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it off in a few. And you can see I already used a couple ounces, so I forget where I was at. Maybe just under that little light green line there. So not too bad with the metering tip there. Again, I don't know what the actual dilution is with the metering tip on there, but you can see it's doing its thing. Okay, it's pulling down on here, and we're gonna see how well it does to clean things up. And you can see it's starting to dry on me here. At this point I'd rinse it off, but we'll see how it does and let it sit a little bit longer. Again, the gardener decided to show up for the neighbor. Let's take a look. Let me see if I can put this down here for a minute. I need both hands here for 1 second. Okay, I want to take a look and see if it's breaking down this bird dropping. A little bit. It's a bit loose. We're gonna let this just kind of do its thing. I'll come back to you in a couple minutes and rinse this off. I could probably rinse it off now. So I'm gonna let this sit as long as possible on here, but you can see it's doing its thing, bringing all the dirt down here. Same here. Back here, again doing its thing. Up here, kind of just sitting on there. So again, it's doing its thing as it's bringing down the dirt, breaking down dirt and grime on all the surfaces here. I missed the glass, but I'll get it during the wash process. Here you can actually see that it actually turned whatever the heck this was, and you can actually see it broke that down. So that's going to come off during the wash process. Don't do that when you're washing. I'm just showing this on camera. So I'm gonna let this kind of sit up for a couple more minutes here, for another minute. There's a thing down here. Let it sit for how long? 2 to 3 minutes. So yeah, I can actually probably rinse it off right now as we're talking. So let me put the nozzle on the pressure washer gun. I'm gonna just manipulate here. I'm using one hand, so okay, we'll take a look and see how this rinses off. Just make sure that my nozzle doesn't blow off while I'm rinsing. So let's go ahead and do this. just wanted to check and see this. And you can see the results surfactant right there. You can see the second layer of surfactant right there. So it's doing its thing. Okay, so you can see it rinses off really good. So this Equinox is coated with Hydro Light. And you can see the dual surfactant. Here's the second layer, and the surfactant as the first one's there. So Hydro Light doing its thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just rinse this off. Let's take a look at the hood here as I continue to rinse this off. This was pretty dirty up here, right? Look, I turned that bird dropping yellow. Okay, I mean, that's very clean. A couple lingering things here and there, but I mean, that overall, this is clean. Didn't affect the coating whatsoever. You can see it's doing really good. And then, kind of last thing, somebody asked me update on the glass coatings here. So again, the Adams is on this side, Jade's on this side. So let's rinse those off. See, they're both doing really good. One thing is that it's been summer, so I had no need for the wipers. Hydro Glass is doing great on the back, so I haven't had a need for the wipers here whatsoever. So again, it's doing really good. And again, the gardener decided to show up, so I'm gonna just go ahead and come back and we're gonna do final thoughts on ADS Decon Soap version 2. So let me just go ahead and finish washing this because I'm losing daylight. Hey everyone, welcome back here. So I actually ran out of daylight yesterday. It's actually Saturday morning here. Actually, it's noon. Actually, it's not even morning. It's noon. And what I'm doing right now is I'm reapplying the Clean by Pan tire dressing. I'm saving the last tire to show you what it looks like, because again, I ran out of daylight, so you couldn't really see what it looked like after 3 weeks, after a wash, and so I saved it for that purpose. So we're gonna take a look at it right now. I do want to touch on something on the final thoughts, but let's go take a look at the reapplication right now and I'll show you what it looks like. Real simple, very easy, it looks great. So let me just walk over there. Looks like the sun's starting to pop out through the marine layer. So if I bring it in closer, you can actually see that at this point, the tire dressing looks like it's already gone. So at this point, yeah, I definitely did the reapplication after about 3 weeks at this point. So that's what I'm reapplying it here, because I like having my tires have that freshly looked, how can I say this? Freshly dressed appearance. Oh, it's too early in the day for me right now. So that's what we're gonna do right here. Again, very simple. And let's just go ahead and get to it. So I'm gonna set you up here. Okay, pretty straightforward reapplication process here. Sorry about the dog over there, the neighbor's dog. So you're just gonna apply some on the tire. So my applicator did turned black because I did hit the outer treads here, and we're just gonna apply this. So what I'm going to do is for these little grooves here, I'm actually going to push pretty hard to get the product in there, so it gives me more of an even appearance. That was one of the issues I had with the initial application, is in there it looked a bit splotchy, so hopefully that kind of resolves that issue. I'm just going to go over it one more time and kind of see if it looks more even in its appearance. The other thing is, Michelins are kind of hard. They don't really take tire dressings that well anyway. So I'm reapplying product into my applicator. Remember, one thing to keep in mind is I'm going to troll that one comment. If you apply your tire dressing in a clockwise rotation, like we all should, then your tire dressing lasts longer. Again, I'm just kidding. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, if you're gonna stick with the same tire dressing, that's my method. Is I will just go ahead and use soap and water, and then I'll just reapply the same tire dressing. If I'm switching over to a new tire dressing, then I will clean the tire with dedicated tire cleaner, and we're good. And I'm good after that. So, and I'll just reapply the new tire dressing. I have a towel handy just in case, because I did get some on the wheel, because this doesn't have a big this tire is not set up to where you have enough space between the rim and the tire. So that's it. We're just gonna let this dry. It's gonna dry to more that satin appearance here, and yeah, it'll self-level. So let's go back inside and talk final thoughts on Clean by Pan tire dressing and ADS version 2 for the Decon soap. Okay, so I'm going to plop you over and turn you around here, and we're going to talk about what I think the final thoughts these two products are. Again, so I used, so one of the downsides about white bottles is, and again, those applicators will seep through, which is why I'm wearing gloves here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shop towel and initially just clean it, and then I'll just wipe it down with some rinseless wash here. But that's one of the downsides to the white bottles, is they are going to get dirty on there. So if you want to keep them looking pretty, you're going to want to wipe them down so that they look relatively good. So let's talk about the tire dressing from Clean by Pan here. So Pan released his video on this tire dressing today. Today's the 26th of October. Definitely go check it out. He has some good information in there. He does show the chemical resistance of the tire dressing, which is great. They use brake buster and copper retire, and it handled that, and it was still hydrophobic. Even after 3 weeks, even though the appearance isn't there, we see that the performance is there. Let me adjust the camera up a little bit more. We see that the performance is still there because we see the hydrophobics of the tire dressing there. So it's still there. Just for me, the appearance just lost its appeal to me. That's why I reapplied it today. I think from a, let's talk about tire dressings here for a minute. From a solvent-based perspective, comparing this to CarPro Dark Side, here's the pros and cons that I like about this product here in comparison to CarPro Dark Side. Number one, this has a better look and finish than CarPro Dark Side. This one actually dries on the tire, unlike Dark Side. I always have to come back and wipe Dark Side off so I don't have any sling from the tire dressing. So that's a big plus for this one. Again, the appearance for this looks great. This has, from what I can tell, it's not as durable as Dark Side, but it holds up pretty well. Dark Side, once Dark Side starts to lose its appearance, it's like almost gone. This one, even though it lost its appearance, we see it's still hydrophobic. So again, I think that's one of the things that this looks good. But for me, I know people are going to ask, is it the best tire dressing? From a solvent-based perspective, I think it's at the top from what I've tested. Again, I haven't used a lot of solvent-based tire dressings because I moved away to water-based tire dressings. That's my personal preference. But from comparing this to CarPro Dark Side and Nexen Duragel, I like the look of this one. I like the self-leveling properties of this as it dries. Is it as durable as those two? Not quite. You know, Dark Side can definitely supersedes this in durability, but again, it doesn't dry for me. I have to come back with a towel and wipe it up, and my towels get goopy and kind of weird with it. Nexen Duragel, that one will dry, and it is, durability is close to Dark Side. It's like in the middle. The thing about Nexen is it's a bit too glossy for me, but if you like high gloss tires, Nexen's probably the way to go. We'll eventually try 2 layers of this, but we're going to see how it bonds to itself, and we'll see if maybe it lasts longer once you have a base layer and then you come back and reapply a new fresh layer. We'll see if it holds up longer. So that's a Clean by Pan tire dressing. I appreciate Pan for sending it out to me to kind of test out. I know people are still trying to come into the comments and says, well, you got it free, you're going to say good stuff about it. Nah, I'm giving you my real honest feedback on it. You know, if it wasn't good, I'd tell you. If it was good, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to share the pros and cons of a product regardless if I get it for free or not. It is what it is. So again, there's certain aspects I like about that. It's not the most durable tire dressing, but it sure looks good. So again, from a solvent-based tire dressing, it's a great product. So again, if you're going to have to answer the question yourself, is it the best tire dressing for you? For me, again, I'll keep testing it out and seeing how often I use it. Depending on how often I use it, that defines if it's the best tire dressing. Like for me, the most used tire dressings that I use are Tire Plus from Armour Detail Supply and Glassparency tire dressing. Those are the 2 that I use the most. Those are like my 2 favorite water-based tire dressings that I use the most. So if I use this one as equally as I do those, then again, I'll consider this the best one. So moving on to Armour Detail Supply Decon Soap version 2. Again, brand new product, redesigned from the ground up, new surfactants, better cleanability, better foaming ability. This stuff is great. From a pre-foam point of view, you saw how dirty the Equinox was. I just pre-foamed it real quick, and you saw that I just used the Griot's foam cannon. I just attached this to the Griot's foam cannon with a purple metering tip, and it didn't use that much product. I think when I started using it, I think I was right around the green, right underneath the green border, and you can see it didn't use that much here, but overall it worked very good. I think Armour Detail Supply brought the heat with version 2. I think it did a great job. I just like I can already tell you it's better than the first version. The first version, I should have tried it with the Griot's foam cannon and the metering tip, but when I played around with it in the foam cannon and using their dilutions, I always had to use a little bit more to get some proper foam. But again, that version 2 is definitely a winner. Definitely check this out. So again, I appreciate DJ for sending this out to kind of test out. I'm a little bit behind. He sent it to me right when it was going to launch for release. I just got overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff. So better late than never. Great pre-foam soap. And then what I ended up doing, I did the same thing. I used Shampoo Plus in the same Griot's foam cannon with the purple metering tip. Foam's great. We know Shampoo Plus is a great soap. I enjoy using this as well. Did a great job, and yeah, I think if you want to stick with 2 great soaps from a brand, Decon soap version 2, and then we have Shampoo Plus. I think 2 great soaps here. This will do most of the work for you, and this is pretty much all you really need if you're looking to stay with just one brand. One thing I will say with Decon soap version 2, it does have the double surfactants in there. You saw that, so you're gonna get some real good cling on there. You saw that the coating didn't really repel it because Hydro Light's pretty hydrophobic and it tends to repel everything, but you saw this one stuck onto the surface and it did a good job cleaning and rinsing off to rinse off clean. So again, kudos to the boys over at Armour Detail Supply for getting that one right. And one last thing for the guys over at Armour Detail Supply, congratulations to those guys for being part of the rag company network for distribution. That's big for them. That goes to show you that they've been putting in the work to become a player in the detail industry in here. So congratulations to those guys. That's, you know, their hard work is paying off. So kudos to those guys, and I appreciate DJ and Bradley for always being available when I have questions about certain products. And I will be getting to the ADS glass version 2 here momentarily to show the application. And then one last thing, if you guys are just looking for a drying aid type product, whether the car's still wet or not, you guys play around with however you want to use a drying aid. One product that I've been enjoying is the Final Details, what does he call this? Speed Shine Detailer. If you just want gloss and slickness in a bottle, this is a great product here. That's what I use on the Equinox. It's not going to make your towels hydrophobic because there's no protective qualities in here, and it's just gives you that amped up gloss to the painted surface. So again, it works great. Again, no protective qualities whatsoever, so you don't have to worry about clogging your towels. Think of this as like CarPro Echo, where Echo doesn't clog up your towels. So if that's what you're looking for, this is a great option. I've enjoyed using it. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I forget at this point. I used this for the FJ Cruiser as a light wipe down, and it just kind of amped up the gloss. So this is actually kind of a cheat code for that. You know, just apply it a couple days later and you're gonna be good. So again, thanks for watching. If you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and post down below. I will answer all your comments as best as I can. And again, appreciate you guys, and take care. Catch the next one, and we'll see what the next video is. Take care.